Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be working with a new foundation. Where is it? Let me grab it. Here it is. It's the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. You guys, this comes in 30 shades and it's supposed to adjust to your natural skin tone while providing SPF coverage, evening out your texture, and wearing all day long. So what we're going to do is try this on, see if the color that I picked out online actually matched, and then do this really dramatic eye look because we have nothing else to do. So before we get started, I just ask that you please consider subscribing. I'm a tiny YouTuber and your support means the world. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get into the makeup. To get started with this makeup tutorial, we're gonna go in with our Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This was the product of 2019. I feel like everyone and their moms constantly talked about how amazing, I don't know what I was doing with that hand, how amazing this primer is. So it's a brand new bottle. We're just gonna give it a few pumps and see how we like this today. I tried it in store and I remember thinking that I wasn't like crazy about it. And now that I've got it on my hands and I'm smoothing it out all over my face, I'm like, it literally is like a gel for your face and it's done really sticky and lovely. I wanna be one of those cute girls who just lets their hair rest right here while they do their makeup, but I'm not. I'm just not, and it's time for me to just stop being a poser because I'm not, and I just need to pull this hair back. Also, I put my eyebrows on just to save everyone some time. All right, let's get into what we're here for. So today we're gonna try the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. This comes in 30 shades. It has an SPF of 30 and it has this technology which basically refreshes the makeup throughout the day so that it does not separate. The Active Force technology protects you from sweat, oil, movement, and it has buildable coverage. So after researching swatches online, I decided that Citrine was gonna be my color. Looking at it in the bottle, and I don't know if it's because the bottle has a matte finish, I think I might have gone too light, but you know what? We are here to learn. So I'm gonna put foundation on the way that I do best, which is with a brush. This is a Eco Tools brush, and we're just gonna give it a couple of pumps. Oh, twist, you guys, I got special. All right, we're gonna pump. It's a little light, but I'm sure we can warm it up. Let's just start in areas that we feel we have most coloration, which by the way, I'm quarantine broken out so hard. So apparently this foundation has technology in it that adjusts to your natural skin tone so it works with you rather than against you. Let's grab a little more. I love the packaging too. I love the pump, and I just love Shiseido products. I use their serum quite a bit. I love their wrinkle resist eye cream. Such a classy, refined brand. I always feel really fancy when I use their makeup. Also, I swear by their cotton pads. I do not use regular cotton balls at all. Like, no, that is so like 2016. We use cotton pads and we only use organic cotton, Shiseido cotton pads. So the Active Force technology in this foundation is what helps combat foundation breakdown from like movement and just different changes in our environment that can affect the way your makeup looks. And that's also what helps match your skin. So as I've buffed it on, I actually do feel like it matches my skin really well. And I realized at this ripe age of 32 that I'm actually a little more neutral than I thought. I always thought it was extremely warm, extremely warm, extremely warm. And then after reviewing footage of me putting on foundation recently, I was like, you know what? I'm actually a little neutral. So this suits me quite well. I love that it's a medium formula, so you can still see scars, you can still see breakout, and that's okay because I feel like I go in with so much concealer and powder that I'm okay to start with a little bit less coverage in foundation, only to go back and build it up later. Guys, that is looking good. I'm gonna add one more layer just because like we're here and why not. And for this one, I'm just gonna dot over the areas that I feel I need more coverage, and this is the stippling motion that's going to help build up that coverage instead of like pressing or swiping or swirling. Just doing this with your brush helps build up coverage. All right, you guys, and I did not color correct because I wanted to see what this foundation does without a color correction, but because it is a little bit on the neutral side, I personally do feel like I could benefit from a little coverage through the mouth area. So I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay red corrector and just tap a little bit through the mouth area. So initial thoughts with it sitting on the skin, I do feel like it is hydrating. It doesn't feel dry, and it's supposed to dry down to a matte finish, but I'm actually okay with that because we built quite a few layers on, especially in the lower region of my face, and so I wouldn't want that to dry down too matte because then I think it would start to look very cracked. Go back in with my foundation brush, no additional product, and just tap over that red color corrected area. I'm gonna take a little color corrector, so much eyelash glue left over from a look that I just did. Probably should have taken all that off. A little bit of the color corrector and then push it through underneath the eye. And then again, with the foundation brush, no additional product, we're just gonna take a little more foundation and push it over. All right, we are looking pretty good. Let's go in with concealer. We're gonna go in with our Tarte Shape Tape. I just wanna keep things pretty normal, not try too many new products so that I can actually see what this foundation does. Blend that out, wet my sponge with little settings, and then use this to blend out my concealer. The concealer is actually blending out really nicely on top of the foundation. Let's get that brush a little bit more damp. All right, I'm gonna set my face with the NC30 Studio Fix powder. This is not a new step for me, but I am gonna not do it with a sponge because I feel like that tends to pack on a little more product than usual. I'm gonna do it with just a brush, buff that over the areas that I put concealer down. For contour, we're gonna go in with this shaping palette from MAC Cosmetics. I really love this one because it has a lot of nice cool tones to create a nice natural shadow. I'm going with this warm color right here first. Skipping a cream contour today. I don't really wanna cover up a lot of the foundation. I just want to leave it alone as much as I can and see what the product does and how it performs. And then start to contour the nose. I'm gonna take a little bit of this cooler tone right here, mix it with a little bit of the warm, and we're gonna use this to just like carve out our crease a bit. And then to warm up the outer edge of our face, we're gonna go in with NW45 Studio Fix powder, lightly kind of go over the perimeter. This works as my bronzer. So an observation I can tell you right off the bat is that I have freckles here and they're very faint, and it's kind of really hard to distinguish what my freckles are and what an acne scar is because I have acne scars as well. But I feel like it did a really good job of covering the acne scars that I have through the lower part of my face while still letting the freckles show through. And I don't really find that in a lot of foundations. So it's kind of nice to not have something that's super intense full coverage that just really works as a mask. This still lets your natural skin shine through, which is lovely, and it's a change for me. All right, for highlighter, we're gonna go in with this gorgeous gold color right here from this Wet n Wild Blush Lighters palette and tap that on the high planes of the face, down the bridge of the nose, on the cupid's bow, a little bit on the chin, and then whatever's left over in the brush, I just kind of push in the inner corner of my eye and then sweep through my brow. This is such a good highlighter. It's such a great product, and it's drugstore, which is so nice. I think it performs better than like some of the high-end highlighters I've tried. Okay, for blush, we're gonna go in with the J. Tori Beauty palette. I'm just gonna mix these colors together, and what I get is what I get. Probably shouldn't have done that. That is very bright. Okay, hold on. I wonder what that looks like on camera, because in person I look certifiably crazy, so powder brush and kind of dust that off. But I'm okay with it because blush is the first thing to fade, so we're good. To do some eye makeup for today's look, we're gonna go in with James Charles Morphe palette. This is the mini. I had the larger one and I gifted it to someone that I used to work with, but I missed having those gorgeous colors in my collection, so I grabbed the mini. Well, I gotta kind of keep it neutral because I have to get on a work call later. That's a Zoom conference, so let me gather my thoughts and I'll be right back. Okay, so before we start our eye makeup look, I'm going to take a little bit more of this NC30 powder from MAC. It has a nice yellow base, and I'm just going to use that to brighten up the under eye area just a little bit more. I feel like I diluted my concealer a little bit too much when I went in with that damp beauty blender, so we're just going to tap some of that coverage back on, and then also use this powder to really pinch the sides of the nose. Rather than baking with a loose powder, I'm just actually going to let that Studio Fix powder sit on the skin and see what it does. To prep my eyes today, we're gonna go in with the Photo Focus primer from Wet n Wild. I'm gonna take a little bit of that on this finger, and I think the Morphe shadows, especially the launch or the collaboration palettes that they do with people, are very, very pigmented. So I don't want to go in with like a MAC Paint Pot or a P. Louise base or anything for this because I don't want the most like a vibrant look. Like I said, I have to get on a work call later, so we need to like kind of keep this neutral, but then also we don't want this tutorial to be boring, so we like have to find that balance. I'm gonna take a little bit underneath the lash line as well because we are gonna put some shadows there. And then just with a clean fluffy brush, I'm just gonna buff that primer out onto the lid. All right, so here we are with this monster of a palette. Let's go in with this color right here, which I feel like is really close to that, but that has a little bit more of like a burgundy tone. Oh, that is really pigmented. Very pretty. Very impressed. When I look at makeup tutorials on Instagram, I always see people do like darkest color first and then blend out from there, whether it's a vibrant look or a neutral look. And then they go back in with like a concealer or a base of some type, and then they go straight over that entire area to where only the tiniest amount of that dark color that they first put down peeks out. And it kind of drives me a little crazy. I'm like, oh my God, you just like took all this time to put this product on only to cover it up. I mean, we used to do that at MAC, but I would actually wipe off that part that I wanted to like create a cut crease with a makeup wipe. I wouldn't just layer on top of it because I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like an extra step that maybe we don't need, but I mean, if it works for them, it works for them. This shadow, because it is a Morphe shadow, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with them, but they are a certain quality of shadow. They feel like they have a little grit to them. So in order to make sure that your eye makeup looks still expensive and still refined, I do have to blend out just a little bit more than I probably normally would. That's okay. I just want to get rid of that grit. All right, let's go in with this warm brown right here, and then just over the edge of where we placed that first color, we're just gonna add that to the edge just to give it something nice to blend into. Super fabulous. Now let's go, oh my gosh, I do not see this color in a lot of palettes. It's a very like cool toned brown. Let's go in with a different brush though. Let's go in with this little brush from Jaclyn Hill. It's the JH42. Let's take this brown right here and use that to really shape the crease in just that outer edge right there, and then this inner corner right here. So it almost looks black, but it's a dark brown and it looks really good. Back in with our original brush, we're just gonna go over the edges of that color and then blend it out so that it looks like it's just feeding into the first two shades that we put down. So yeah, this palette, you do have to blend a little bit more than you would with some other palettes, but it's not a bad palette at all. It's actually really nice. And it's a very functional palette. It has a lot of colors that you need or that you can mix to create truly an artist's palette. Subtle smoky eye. We're getting somewhere. We should have baked underneath the eye. I had no game plan. I'm just like literally winging it with my eyeshadow look, and we have fallout now. We should have baked. We'll finish the top of the eye and then we'll clean up the bottom. Nothing we can't come back from. Okay, I'm gonna take a little Tarte Shape Tape and use this as my highlight concealer. I'm gonna look up and create a subtle soft cut crease. So this is like soft glam meets a cut crease. We just don't want this to be like overly chiseled, but we do want to give the center of the eye something to grab onto, so we need to prep that area with a little concealer. And I'm just going to take a flat brush and then start to tap out that concealer. So this is kind of what I was talking about before. Like I left the center lid area a little empty so that I don't have to go back in and like wipe all of that off, but I didn't completely fill it in with shadow just to do this step. I like left some space there because to me that just feels so like so redundant. All right, and 10 minutes later we are here with the cut crease. I don't know why I decided to do this, but I feel like I do a lot of like very soft blown out looks often, and I was like, I need to change it up. So here we are, a very, very fancy quarantine makeup look if I don't say so myself. All right, now I'm gonna pack a vanilla colored shadow on top of that. So let's go in with this color right here. Very flat brush, we're just gonna use that to pack on top of our cut crease. And I'm not gonna really pack a ton of color on this outer edge because I want that to be a little bit sticky so that I can blend a brown shadow on top of it, but this part for sure I want to be very matted down. Let's go with this mauve color right here. We are just all over the place today. That's okay. Yeah, these powdery pigments in the shadow have like a little bit of flyaway because they are not like pressed shadows, they're pressed pigments. So the component that goes into shadows to give them the color, kind of their like unfinished form. So yeah, just be prepared to blend a little bit more. Go back in with this maroon color and mix it in with that brown color, and then deepen up that crease right there. Back in with this dark brown color right here, and then just kind of bridge the little gap I see from that Tarte Shape Tape. Back in with that mauve color, just to do one final little sweep over that entire area. And I want to make sure that I don't bring the shadow down this way, that I'm still kicking it up so that we have a very upturned, lifted eye look. Whatever mauve shadow is left on the brush, I'm just going to tap over. I'm also going to take a clean blending brush, and with this taupe color right here, I'm just going to take that and tap over the brow area because I don't want that to be so stark white. It's looking a little bright, and we want that to be very nude and neutral. We want the pop to be the lid. All right, for inner corner highlight, we are going to take this gold color right here, mix it in with a little bit of that rosy gold color right there, pop that in the inner corner, and then a little bit in this inner 1/3. Wow, I have not done a makeup look like this in what feels like years, but it's nice to do it every once in a while and know you still got it. So, all right, we put a little bit of that Studio Fix powder down there, and although I thought that I wasn't gonna do a look like this, so I didn't think I needed to bake, I probably should have. I'm gonna take a little more powder and then use that as a little magic eraser to kind of clean up these edges. All right, I'm gonna let that soak there just to create a nice line and get started on the under eye. All right, for the under eye area, we're gonna go in with the Revlon Color Stay Black Eyeliner. This is such a rich, creamy formula, and it's a drugstore price point. And so we're just gonna take that and then lightly line the waterline. I love how easily that glides on. All right, let's just line the top waterline too, because why not? You know, we're here and we're glamming. All right, let's do the top lashes and then come back for the bottom because I want to see what direction we want to go in. Okay, so I finished lining my top eyeliner with some black shadow, and I'm going to just keep the eyes really simple for the lower half because I feel like the top is really complex for me. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this brown shadow right here and then lightly dust it under the waterline. And we're going to take a little bit of this black shadow right here and then just lightly tap that right next to the lash line. And then with the mauve shadow that we use as our bridge color up top, we're just going to take that and then lightly buff that underneath the eye just to kind of bring the whole look together. Going with a smaller brush, you can get really nice and tight. All right, off camera, I'm gonna do mascara, lashes, and then we'll be back for lips and take a look at this foundation to see if it's oxidized or changed colors or done anything funky on us. Okay, and then to match the mauve theme, we're just gonna go in with Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. This is a dupe for MAC Plum Liner. I don't know if I'd call it a dupe because this actually costs more, but this is a little bit more of a creamier formula. You guys, around my mouth, it's separating just a little bit, and that could be because I had to color correct. So I'm just gonna take my foundation brush and like push over that area. Not bad though, not bad. All right, and we're gonna take Morphe Fling lipstick. I love this one, and it kind of is true to the theme that we're going with today. Let's grab a little more Pillow Talk. This is in the Pillow Talk shade 2. So they have 3 and this is the second one. I'm gonna go in with Rimmel Coffee and then just give the border a little bit of dimension, but I don't wanna change the lip color. I'm gonna line underneath my lip to make it look like it's folding over, you know, really full, really voluptuous. Third time back in with Pillow Talk just to bring it all together. All right, overall, I do not hate this look. It is a lot more dramatic than I anticipated, and I don't typically do looks like this, but I think it's important for me to change it up. And I actually didn't tell you which lashes I'm wearing. These are the Ardell Wispies Studio Effects. So these are the sad 2 little pieces that I cut off, but I love these lashes, and I went with this lash choice because it's really spread out and it kind of gives the edges a little bit of a flare, and it doesn't cover up the cut crease that we just created. So super loving that. Let's take the hair down and take a look at this entire combo together. All right, you guys, that concludes this video of the first impressions of the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I'm pretty happy with the color that I chose. I think I did a good job of finding what undertone in this shade range worked for me. I do feel like the foundation lives up to what it says it does. I think it matched my skin tone. I feel like it meshed directly into my natural complexion. I do love that it has an SPF, and I love that it's medium coverage because you can actually still see my freckles in certain areas despite using a pretty heavy duty primer and a highlighter on top of those areas. This eyeshadow look went a little more dramatic than we expected, and that's okay. And the lip look looks better in person than it does on my monitor or the camera every single time. I don't know what to do. The only thing I can do is just throw on a gloss and pretend like it all works, but hopefully it turns out well when I go back and review this footage. So, and before you sign off, I'm gonna pop my Instagram right here. Make sure you follow me. I do wear tests on my Instagram stories, so you can actually always check there to see how I wear my foundations throughout the day, my opinions, my thoughts, and how they change. With that being said, I think this video has finally come to an end. It's been a long one. I hope you guys like the eyeshadow look. I hope you guys get to try out the Shiseido foundation, and I will catch up with you guys later. Bye.